So it's the 31st of August, and I'm here with John Gallagher, known locally as John Mandy. John, it's nice to have you here with us today. We're just going to do a wee interview with you and get you to share some of your memories of your life here in Creeslough and elsewhere. So John, you were born in 1928.
1928, in a wee thatch house at the top of Creeslough. It was a thatch house that I was born in before they built that new house at the front, 1936.
Yes. All right. Very good. And so you're 92 years of age now.
92 years of age there on the 7th of August.
92 years young, as I
92
say.
years young.
Moses Alcorn did a lovely interview and article on you in the 2019 Creeslough View, and it's an excellent article all about your life.
Moses got a good wee bit of stuff, you know.
He did a really good job now. So for the sake of this wee video, I'm able to use that as a reference. And there's some lovely photographs there of you and your brothers, Manus and Neil. And Cornies and
They're
some
on
of
it
the
too,
photos. There's a photograph of Edmund Boyle's wedding.
Oh, Jesus, that's a good one,
And Corny was the best man, was he?
that's right.
And they're all dressed in white.
In America, Edmund got married. That photo was in America.
Oh, that was in America, was it?
I have that photo on there. I'll show it to you before you go, maybe.
Surely, yeah. And Neil was at that as well, wasn't he?
Neil was at that.
All right, excellent. And Colin Kelly's there with you as well, God rest him.
Colin was with me there.
You were good pals?
We're all great pals,
Very good. And you had a nice get together in Mulroy Woods Hotel in Milford with the family.
Great family reunion there,
Very good. And you had a wee party this summer as well, I believe.
Well, a small party in the house, just last thing, we couldn't go out.
Yes. Well, that's great. Isn't it great to be able to celebrate these occasions? So, what are your early memories, John, of growing up? Where did you go to school, for example?
School in Mass School was my first school. Master McCarry was my teacher. Miss Cahoon was a teacher there, and Sheila Kelly. That was the Mass School down there. And got on well with McCarry. He used to send me up to Hannah Donald's for stuff for him. When he had no bread with him or no tea and sugar, he would send me up on the big bike. I'd be wheeling mostly on the cider. I couldn't ride her up to with the hotel as it was Hannah Donald's.
Oh yes.
Flora Wads. He'd send me up with this, the quarter of tea and the wee loaf and the stuff, in the young days.
Very good. And can you remember who else would have been in your class at the time?
There was Donald Kelly, and it was what a way to Galway, to that hospital with a TB, and he married a woman up there. He died up there in Maryland Park. Donald Kelly from Creeslough, son of Peter Kelly's. That was when Barney Tristy was at school with me up there.
Yes.
Una Boyle, all them girls, Creeslough.
Very good. And did you enjoy going to school, or what was it like?
I enjoyed the school all right. Down the road, a bottle of milk was, and we had to take a torch sometimes for the fire. That was the two things, the wee bottle of milk.
You were lucky enough you didn't have too far to go, I suppose.
Oh God, the distance was short, The distance was short. When the load of turf would come, we had to put it in a jolly tight fire in it one another, putting in the turf for them.
It's supposed to be a bit of down going on too.
That was it.
So there wasn't many houses in Creeslough at that time?
Oh God, there wasn't a lot of houses. There were no new houses. Cahoons wasn't up. Eddie Boyle's or none of them was up. I mean, them houses were all up. Cahoon's a great house. The Wolkins of Maroti built it. Eddie got that house built. Agnes Radler. Them was new houses there all at the foot of the town. Silk's house was up long before that. That big house and Master O'Donnell's was up there too. Aye.
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 Uh-huh.
Aye.
So you knew my own grandfather, J.J. Silk? John?
That's the man, aye, that's the man that I talked about, the man that the seed spuds, him and Jamaljo.
That's right.
He was the first man with the seed spuds. They give the bags round to all the farmers. There was no money to set the spuds. They put a big time putting them in, getting them ready and walling them. Many's the time they were turned down. They had to go to Mulroy to wall them again, so they had big problems with the seed spuds.
Uh-huh.
Then he grew the biggest acreage in the world, an acre of land down the Arden Banner. I don't know how many ton to the acre. It was a world's record at that time.
That's right.
J.J. Silk, aye.
That's in the loft field, as we call it.
Aye.
Down Maharoti there.
Down Maroti
the
on
loft
an
field.
acre.
Aye.
Then the the orchids down below him there was great men sending away, they sent away 100 ton of the wee farm. That was a lot of seed spuds at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very good. And
He used to get, your father got, or Silk got the swirly lorries to haul them to Mulroy. They would stop for tea at our house now and get on for the run to Mulroy with them there.
all right, yeah.
5 or 6 lorries carried for long enough. The
Okay.
boat carried about 600 ton at Mulroy.
Okay.
Aye.
And where did that boat go, do you think? Can you
She
remember?
went away out foreign. She went out, aye. She wasn't to Scotland. She went out to wherever them seed was going. Like,
All right.
we couldn't eat them here, whatever kind of potato the world, like. They were
Uh-huh.
only for a foreign country. Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Yes. Change times, John.
Oh, good grace to me.
Change times.
Aye.
And I was chatting to Manus and Hugh McGrody the other day. I believe you knew their father as well, Mandy McGrody.
Aye, I know Mandy McGrody in Portcara, young Mandy, and I know the old Mandy down at Doe Point, and the old two-story
yes.
house.
Aye.
The old Mandy in Portcara, it was at the wholesaling. Is that the man?
That's the man now.
Oh, an old Mandy well.
Uh-huh.
Columbo Donald drove a lorry for him
Oh yes.
for a while. Aye.
Yeah, Eileen's
Eileen's brother,
Eileen's
aye.
brother, God rest him.
Aye, Columbo was a man fixed me up with Margaret Kelly way back in 1946, 47, Columbo Donald.
Uh-huh.
Aye, that's how that come.
Aye. That's your
Columbo's a cousin of Margaret's at that. Aye.
yeah, that's your late wife,
Aye.
God rest her.
Aye.
And you had 7 children altogether.
7 children, 6 girls and a boy. Aye.
boy, yeah.
Aye.
Aye, very good. The viaduct disaster, do you remember much about that? Well, it was before you were born, really, wasn't it?
Oh, that was before I was born, 1925.
Uh-huh, and you were born in 3 years later.
1928.
Yes.
But I mind them all talking about that great man, Jim Hannigan, that walked the whole way from Drumnarrow up at the viaduct to Creeslough station and to the barracks. Called it the gate dust coming down on that wild stormy night, how it was done, how a man done that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was at that time. The train driver had to stay with the train and the guardsman.
Yes.
The train driver was, what do you call him there? He was McGuinness. And Hannigan was a man walked the railway down. He was the man for firing the engine, that was him.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was a man, the name of Boyle, was on the guards van that night, North County Mulroy. Told me it was Boyle from Dunlow.
Right.
Boyle man, walked
Okay.
Dunlow.
And
That's the man was on the train that night now. That's
all right.
Aye.
But the train kept running then for another number of years, didn't it? After that.
She kept on, but the passengers, she lost a lot of passengers after that.
All right.
Like they used to choose passengers and goods and all, but then the passengers got kind of feared there for a while. They were a good while before they came back
Yeah.
and business on her. Aye.
So they must have fixed up the viaduct.
The viaduct, there was no harm to the viaduct. It was a big one that put her off.
Uh-huh.
The one got in onto the wagon and tipped her over.
Tipped
He was
her
over
over.
the. He was over the viaduct.
Yeah.
He was only supposed to travel at 10 mile an hour across it. That's what he done at all times.
Mm-hmm.
He was over at this Senate next Creeslough when the wagons caught and pulled
Yes.
her. Aye.
People lost their lives.
Aye.
Yeah.
But the great man, the man that come to Creeslough by walking on that old railway, I don't know what kind of lamp he had, or had he any lamp. Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
He raised the alarm.
Aye. But it was all old oil lamps that the station nearly used on signals and on lighting on the platforms. I mean, there were no, it was all oil lamps that I seen in my time on it. There was an old Charlie Connan man from the town up here. He lived in, below the bridge up the town. He was the porter at the station. I mind us coming up the station, Bray running after him. He had a light of his own back and front. There were no ESBs or nothing, that time,
No.
pure darkness. But he had to put out the signals on the lights and have them for the train coming in, green for all right and the red.
Yeah.
Oil lamps up on a ladder, and I mean there were no other way, I suppose.
Yeah.
Aye.
It's amazing they were able to.
Aye.
It's amazing how they were able to work without the electricity.
Aye, they did along the platform was lit with oil lamps.
Mm.
Oh, he had to keep them tuned up and wax and all. I mind him at it, aye.
Mm-hmm.
That was at the bus porter was there.
Very good.
But then the other porters was there was Pat McFadden, Pat Neddy. He was a porter there at the station for years and years, aye. They had a brother who was on the motor bogie, kept the line clear. He lived about Forcara. I mind him coming up and down, and 4 or 6 men on her, checking the line every few days and seeing everything was in order, aye.
Mm-hmm.
He was Pat McFadden, aye.
Right.
A brother of Pat's, so it was Eddie Pat they called him.
So they had to do regular checkups.
And regular checkups, aye.
Very good.
Aye.
So John, do you want to tell us a wee bit about can you remember much about your first job?
My first job at Creeslough just before I done anything. Donkey and cart, that's what Mandy had. I carted away with my donkey and cart. There was no water coming to the town mains. I carted water from the pump and left it in people's houses. And I carted all turf down for the winter from the bog with the donkey and cart.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to get the donkey shod. There were some cross guards in Creeslough that time. There were an old sergeant, 4 guards. I had to get the donkey shod, get shoes on it. So that was kind of law.
And you mentioned there about the bog. Where was the bog?
The bog was up and and up in Maynardreen, 2 bogs.
Yeah, all right.
We up Maynardreen. Everybody in a town that had a house had a plot of bog or got a plot of bog.
Mm-hmm.
I carried a lot of the turf home with the donkey and cart. When I left the school, that was my job after some of the rest of them was at it. I was the next man for it. I
So-
carried a lot of turf.
You had a few runs to do, no doubt.
That's why then the water down at the well, taking up buckets of water. Then they got a pump on the well. You could pump it, then I had a hose, then I could pump it over into the barrel of water. Then I had a tap on the barrel to give a bucket to every house. Or go out to roasties or no water out there or my caperties or no spring
Right.
well.
And
Got a few bob for that.
did they pay you for the water? Or
Aye.
Very good. Alright.
That was that.
Right.
Water in the town.
So after that then, can you remember what he did?
After that then, I got at 17, coming on 17, I got a job with McMahon, Melford.
Mm-hmm.
Went on as a mechanic. Big Borges was beside me. We used to go out and in with him, times when he had the car, you know. But when I went to Melford, there was no money, 10 shillings a week's all you get.
Now,
10 shillings in the garage till you do so many years. My father and mother had to pay the rest and Conan's for me digs.
oh yes, yes, yes.
Me and Wally Kelly stayed in the 2 years.
And
Then when we come up till 25 shillings a week, then we paid had to pay the digs more than had to go to the pictures when we had the 10 shillings. When we got the 25, we had to go to another picture in Melford. Then on Saturday, we came home. We paid the digs and come home round on the bus on a Saturday round by Kerrygyart. And we paid £0.50 on it. When we were at home, all we had was £0.50 for our whole week. That you chat that about.
mm-hmm.
That was the wages we had.
Mm-hmm.
That's all the money we had for the week.
Yeah.
So we were out of the home press where they hadn't paid us at home on that. It was either that or go to England or stick the job,
Yes.
McMahon.
And was there much to do in Melford in the evenings?
No, we walked about the streets and down to the Melford bakery, and if we hadn't the money for the pictures, that was we would walk away down to the bakery and walk around on a good evening.
Yes.
A wee oratory, and at Melford would say a prayer in it and all that thing, right?
Very good.
Aye.
And I suppose that kind of you got an interest in the movies and films and stuff, because later on then you started showing films yourself.
I did, aye. When Kenny was giving up, but then I got the machines up. I used to do a lot of wee jobs for Kenny. There was an engine first he had it, like driving the generator, you know. And I used to fix it that for him then.
Yes.
He gave me the machines, I bought them up, and I was finishing up. I built the Fiesta at that time, you see.
And was that in Letterkenny?
That in Letterkenny, and then he
yeah.
was giving up the pictures.
Okay.
So I showed then in the Creeslough Hall and Dunfanny and Kerrygyart, the Denver down in Rathmullen. You had to hire the film, you got it. And then I tried to show it 3 times to take all you could out of it now. Dunfanny and Creeslough, and get as much as you could. The film was costing so much to hire. You had to have it back inside 3 days, you see, and you had to be quick on the showing to get.
Yeah.
So
What year was that about, John?
that was coming up in the 60s, it was nearly finishing. The pictures was
So,
out, aye.
middle 60s or end of the 60s or start of the 60s?
Aye, about the start of the 60s, that was it.
All right.
And then I showed in Kerrygyart a proud picture one night. You put on 3 reels on her. And I did put on my 3 reels, and Colm had the money collected. Colm was my man collected on the door.
Colm Kelly, yes.
He had the money collected, and I put on the 3 reels and went down and had a drink and come up and started up. Wasn't the last reel first on her, the end of the picture. And I showed on, the big sergeant was in the cap on him and all. I showed away to come to the front and I showed some kind of comic. I thought it was a great picture. I got away with it.
Oh, you got away with it? Wow, right.
Aye, so that was a picture
You
machine.
You wouldn't get away with it nowadays, I suppose.
No, but I showed some great cowboys. I showed the last cowboy at Kerrygyart now. Aye.
Right.
Aye, it was a great class. That Gordon a Brad man was fond of the cowboys. Aye.
Very good.
Aye.
And what memories do you have of Arch Friary back in the day, John?
Well, I remember back in the days, Arch Friaries at all them students was in it. Going on for the priesthood and all. And I mind Josie Hunter driving an old Ford's and tractor in it. And I mind me putting a clutch in her down in the old shed. And then they had a horseman in it too, big Paddy Doherty, and 2 horses, he done all that kind of work too, but they had this old major tractor, she was an old kind of She wasn't what to do kind of all, you know.
Yeah.
And they used to go to the bog, shield on the bog, taking down turf and stuff and all that. But then after the students left, we went down on our treats, and the underground was the place that we went where the cubicles was. We couldn't talk to one another for the weekend, no talking. Down for the weekend, mass and no talking. It was a great place.
Bit of silence.
Silence. And then after that it come to be that people was going down and got on to people going to mass at 8 o'clock in the morning. I mean, James, my brother's car driving down to the 8 o'clock masses was great for people. Down to the 8 o'clocks. Father Anders and Father Columbus was at that time. Father Columbus was a great curing man. Any women going to have a baby, they all got him out. Mind James driving him. Aye. Father Anders and Father Columbus was the two.
Very good.
Aye.
And I believe you have the water divining gift yourself.
Oh, Jesus, aye, the divining, that was one. That a boy come to Hannah Donald's, he was from Belfast. I used to go out on the boat with him and show him the rivers, he was fisherman. He showed me with the rod, he was a diviner, how to do it, and Jesus, then I could do it. Now I started got houses round the country, Wales and stuff. Yes, I was only very young, 16 or after school. And then the muckish crowd heard about me. O'Toole got me up to get a spring well on muckish for the men to drink, for the tea, you know. The other water was kind of coloured and that. So we went up with Eddie Boyle, I mean, he was a driver, and Ned Gallagher, that V8 Canadian lorries, I mean, going up, and they weren't tippers at that time either. I went up with Eddie and got the wells, few wells, down to Clune Station. Ned Gallagher, he had a shovel it into the wagons. Wasn't going away by train that time, there was no pirate asphalt at that time. So that was all shoveling, that was tough going that. Shoveling it on the lorry up at the sluice thing out into the lorry, and then shoveling it onto the wagons down here at the Clune Station. Aye.
Yeah. Willie Kelly was working up there at that time.
Willie Kelly, and them all got job lorry driving later. Willie got it at a later yet when all them men was away from her. Willie, a younger man.
Yeah.
Pat, the brother of mine, drove out a while too. Josie Gallagher. Aye, them men.
Annie Ward was up there too.
Annie Ward was up on the top, or up there working. Oh,
Tom Doherty too was another
Tom
man.
Doherty, they're a real.
Very real.
All great men, Tom, they're a real man. Johnny, what do you call him? Friel built a new steel bar on the side.
Alright.
You have a new steel bar and he built it.
Right.
He was a good quarrying man for them.
So you set up your own business here, but were you in Friel's a while too?
Oh, Friel's 10 years. McMahon's, when I was McMahon's, I was sent up to the Fun Garage in Ballabapay, 1947. I mean that. Me and Big Wilkinson travelled from Creeslough up and down for a good while, and then I stayed up on digs and then I got a house up on Drumbo where Joe Kelly is a bottling store, but I stayed up there a few years.
And who was this Big Wilkinson man?
He lived beside me, he was foreman for McMahon, Big John Wilson, Derrick's father. Aye, that's the man.
Alright.
Me and him travelled to Melfort too. We travelled up to the Fun for a good while before we stayed up. Then I got a house up there then when I got married up in Drumbo.
Up in
I was
Drumbo Woods,
I was 7 years up there and whatever was in Melfort. Then Friel, I come back in 1952. Friel was looking for a man. The garage wasn't that long up. I got the same money with him as I was going to get to McMahon, so I started with Friel. And I lived down in Massnass in the old house. I done 10 years with Friel. 10 years with John Friel. And then I started and set up myself here. I got a wee shop built
Yes.
When I was in Mass, I got this wee shop, bought the ground of the school. The Charlie Johnny sold the land to the school. There were a half an acre left and he sold it to me. I was getting a pack well. That was 1959 or 60. 59. Then I got the shop built in 1960 with Johnny McGettigan. Me and Johnny was friendly men. And then I had it on, then I got the wee filling station on it. I had the shop, I got the wee filling station on, then I got my wee garage built at the back. Me and Margaret run then that for 30 years or more, right?
So John, you built this house here yourself?
We got this house, the front shop, McGettigan built for me. I gave him the blocks, made a deal with him. And I got the middle part of the shop, the wee house, the middle here with Danny Ward. And Patrick Doherty, I got Patrick Doherty, the contractor, to build this for me. Me and Patrick was back too. Patrick Doherty, the contractor, built this here for me.
Is this Patrick from Derry?
Patrick from Derry, aye. So that's the buildings that I've all here. Made all the blocks for myself up at the station platform. Got the load on the machine of McGettigan.
All right.
And set them on boards on the platform, a good level place. I made so many thousand blocks for I know it took so money to make a house, them boys could calculate it up. I made, I think 4,500 blocks or something, cavity blocks.
Yes.
That was going. And all out my head to build a house anyway at all times. But that's the way I built it in stages, that's the way it had to work for me. According to cloth, that's the way I had to go, aye.
Very good.
Aye.
So you had your own business then?
This business was running the shop, I had the shop running and the petals and all going before this first went on, aye.
Yeah. And a lot of the school children that went to
the shop
St
done,
Mary's here would remember the shop.
Oh, the shop done well at the beginning now, powerful well, aye. Well, the shop beside the chapel and all that after masses, for a good luck of years the shop, but them all going to Marble Hill, them northern ones, the filling station, the passing, they would stop and after the shop.
Why?
I done a good trade serving the cars. I serviced all the cars for the mental keepers one time. One, two, other, and I had the whole lot of them and nurses. I had a great going business with them for us.
Yeah.
They could come with their car and I just serviced them, great men.
Yeah.
I know every one of them, great men.
I suppose was it all different makes of cars?
All different makes. They got a raise one time then, and they all bought new cars, they decided. They were getting paid through the bank, and they got a raise and then they bought the cars through the bank. They done the right thing, they had a meeting and they said, I says, you better all buy a new car and be rid of trouble when you've got the money then. Hey, and that's the way the work got them, rid of the old cars.
Well, that was good advice then, good advice now. Still good advice.
Aye.
Right, very good.
Aye.
So, John, would you have any old yarns or stories for us, or would you have any memories of some of the characters used to be in Creeslough, like Hughie Anton, Charlie Anton, or Jimmy Brennan maybe?
Aye, Jimmy too was another character, aye. But Hughie Anton was a character of the ball, aye.
Hughie was into the music, wasn't he?
Aye.
He played the...
Aye.
What did he play, can you remember?
Played an accordion, aye. Now, what was he used to say about I'll go to be seen with my big accordion and Paddy Dugan's horn. That was something a rhyme he would make up.
Right.
And I'll get them old charming women with their old polished faces and the best of good light.
And Hughie played the drums as well, didn't he?
A great drummer, aye.
Good drummer. I suppose he was in different bands over the years.
I drummed to Glen, and I drummed down to Downings in my time, and way up to Glendown, and Jesus, even the crowd in Glenby Castle got him up.
Is that right?
Aye. That was Hughie now. Great.
All right, Hughie, yes.
Aye.
Yeah. you were telling us a story earlier on about the horseman or two slashers. What was that about?
Oh, they got the nickname though in Scotland, and old men slashing at that time. The slashers in Scotland, there were chain gangs in Scotland. These boys were called the two slashers. They come back from Scotland, and that's how they had got that name with them. They had that name, aye.
All right.
Aye.
And
But what I thought about it was that the background, the beds was the best pit into the lot to have shelter, no drops and straw, the bales of hay.
oh yeah,
Aye.
yeah.
But the pikemen, I was telling you
the
about.
pig buyers or pig men, yeah.
Aye, well, they had to kill them, living in with them. Then they come out of rule, they had to be dead. There's Joe Lanyon was all around the country killing pigs. He had a wild job. Them men, they killed them, then you had to take them in, they put skivers through their stomach, the people. You had to kill them at home and take them with a horse and cart with a donkey and cart. They had to be weighed in the market house in Creeslough. Aye.
Right.
Joe Lanyon was out at Sarah Kelly's one time and she had no help in the pig and Joe to kill it. Jesus, I didn't know what they were going to do. Joe told her to get a bag of meal, a boil of meal. Joe put the boil of meal to the pig's head and pushed with a sledge. That's the way Joe done the thing. That was tough going.
That was a bit rough,
Yeah,
alright.
that was rough one. Eh?
That was fairly rough way for the pig.
Aye, but that was as they had to go dead wet. Was that a wild bloody carry on there?
Alright.
Eh? They'll come with the two lorries then, the two factory men. Big Sweeney was cast at a place in Sligo, Ballasodare, and then Shearscreen in my time had a big bacon factory in Ballabafay. One of them was married to a girl from Carrigaff, Marion Logue, we called her. She died at childbirth, I mind that.
Right.
Aye. That was tight too, way back that time. Aye, that was the pig buyers.
Very good.
Aye.
And John, I believe you remember the time the plane crashed down at Killyhoy Beach.
Aye. Oh, Killyhoy Strand, me and Bernie Boyle went down on two bicycles from here. We were only 14 and a half. We saw this great bomber up on the beach, the torn engines and all that. Great to see the like of that. And then they were telling us then that's before she went away to take flight, they had to tow her away back with horses. And then the fuel had to come out of Derry in canisters. I mind the lorry go down with them canisters, you know. Instead of pumping and the fuel, the Yankee or the aeroplane fuel had to be got. It come in them canisters, you know. I mind the lorry going down and them carrying it all into it, aye.
Were they like 5 gallon, 10?
But it'd be great work to get her away again. I mean, to get her back, you know. Way back to the end of the beach to get the runaway at it, to get out to her own end.
Yes.
Aye. Great man to get her away, that pilot. Aye. But his daughter was there, shook hands with his daughter down at that time, or down this last time there.
The memorial.
Aye, the memorial. That's the last time I was down there now.
Aye. Brendan Rowan was involved with that,
Aye,
wasn't it?
Brendan Rowan. But we actually did see the real bomber. We seen a real aeroplane. We never seen none, but we did see it all right.
Yes.
Young for us at that age.
So that was about 1942?
41, 42, 42
right.
it was, 42.
Aye.
Oh, I heard her coming in down over Creeslough. The barracks was talking of the guards, saying something about it too or something. The army was there too, they couldn't fly away like they were war on or something, like they could confiscate her or like aye. The men stayed in the Portnabla Hotel. Portnabla Hotel was up that time. The pity they demolished the Portnabla. They made a wild mistake there.
Oh yeah, it was a fine building.
Oh God Almighty, aye.
Aye.
That's what they're doing now.
You've good memories.
Eh?
You have good memories on these things, John. Fair play to you.
Actually, not too bad, I kind
And what about Brady Gallagher? Did you come across her in your time?
Jesus Christ, aye, Brady Gallagher, that's right. Brady was a great friend of mine, fixed the cars and things for her. And I mind her wedding. Her wedding was in Han O'Donnell's up here, 1951. I mind her all about outside, all watching away to see would she come out to photograph. Listening to the accordions playing inside, that's where Brady had her wedding reception.
Alright.
Aye.
She had a great voice.
God, Brady was a girl from Donegal. That's where she finished up. But I'm not sure of where she got married in Doe Chapel or Anne's now. That's my one, but I'll get that one sometime. Like when she got married, was it a priory, but a friend priory wasn't marrying nobody, you know.
Yeah.
Like, there was none of that going on. Like,
yeah.
Now you can go and marry in the priory. It might have been Doe Chapel she was married in.
Maybe. We'll have to check that one up, John.
Eh?
We'll have to check that one up for you.
And our man was a Protestant. So he was, what's his name? I have a book out there, I'll get his name for you.
Yeah.
Well,
very good.
Ladies, aye.
And were you up in Glenveigh in your time, or do you know much about up there?
Oh, Jesus Christ, I used to live the boys up, they'd come to the town here and get drunk, I'd have to live up with James's car, and Mike Brady was on the gate, so he'd open, let you in, let you out. They would stay too late in the town here. Jim Brainy up here, them men that worked in it, you know.
Yeah.
Carpenters. They would come to Creeslough, they would get drunk, and then they'd have to be left home. All that handling was it. That was Brady. I had an uncle worked in Glenveigh Castle. He was on the boatman, big Jimmy Connan. A big man. He took all the gentry out on the boat. The wars that time, all out fishing. He had that job for a long time, aye.
Right. Now, was he working for Michael Hannay?
Michael Hannay, he was working for, aye.
Alright. And you were telling me earlier on a wee bit about the previous owner that went missing.
Aye.
Weren't you telling me earlier on about the other owner? That
oh, Jesus Christ, Michael Hannay. Mind my mother tells me that one. Michael Hannay, they were a bad man at O'Dare, and the woman was a great woman, the O'Dare woman. Then Michael Hannay come, he bought it of this man. This man went away one day to Torrey. They had a grand wife too, I mind her saying. And he went away to Torrey, and he never was got. They thought he went away by boat, or never got him lost here anyway.
Just
They thought
disappeared.
maybe he might have went away to another country, or by boat.
Just disappeared.
He went missing, I couldn't get him.
Yeah.
But I know his name someplace too, if I could raise it. It's not, could be got. Aye.
I think there's a book written about that.
Aye, the man's name will be in it. Aye.
Glenveigh Mystery.
Aye, aye.
Very good.
Livingstone be Jason, now's in my head. That's Brady Gallagher's man.
What was it?
He was Livingstone.
Livingstone. Alright.
Livingstone, aye. She had a wee bit of handling. She got him turned in Belfast. The man was kind of pleased enough, but his wife wasn't too pleased about it now. No, about Brady and that. But they got on all right anyway. Aye?
All right, yeah. Very good.
Aye.
Well, have you any other wee yarns you can think of, or any wee stories or anything, John, you'd like to share with us, or
Aye, well,
any wee jokes or anything? Or?
I know a woman had a win at the bridge at the pump. I think they called him Paddy the Pump. Now he pumped there beside the hotel.
Oh,
A 10-year woman, she had a youngster. They called him Paddy the Pump. That's the kind of name they put on him, whoever he was.
right. Aye. Paddy the Pump.
Then,
That's from your youth, is it?
aye,
That's from when you were growing up?
aye, that was young when the 10-years was all about these places. They used to be around here a lot, you know, one thing.
Uh-huh.
Aye. Then Paddy Mandy, my roasty, he got knocked down by a 10-year. He's with a bicycle. Aye, Paddy says, wait till you get knocked down with a tank, you're a good fighting man all over now.
And there was a few other characters about the town as well. There was other characters about Creeslough too that you would have known.
Ah, Jesus, there were plenty bad.
John Langan.
Oh, Jesus, Langan told some good ones, right?
John was a character, God rest him.
Aye. Indeed, Morris was a buried passage John, or somebody along with John. These fires will need to be going good in hell, that's where that man's going. He wouldn't let John on for a drink.
Oh, right. Aye.
Aye.
He had his own sense of humour too.
Aye, but Jesus.
Very good. Well, I think that's mainly everything, John, I was going to ask you
What
about
else you
today.
covered now, way up by the nothing
Aye.
Oh, that's good enough. We covered him with the
Aye.
place.
So,
With the place when I got married, 1950 and all that, with all in.
Aye.
Aye.
unless there's anything else that comes to mind, John.
No, just only when I was in Ballymaphy, used to come down to the Devlin Hall to the dances every Tuesday night. That's where Big Margaret,
Mm-hmm.
when I was in the Ballymaphy. The Devlin Hall was going strong. That was there was no fiesta, that was the Devlin Hall down at the bottom of the town.
Where was that?
The Devlin Hall in Letterkenny.
Oh, in Letterkenny, alright.
Aye, the Devlin was a big main hall, aye.
Whereabouts in Letterkenny was that, can you remember?
It's down the bottom, down
Lower Main Street?
Lower Main Street and to the right there, aye.
Alright, okay.
Father Mark's father used to be on the door, that's how I made that. That was Nad's, his father, made that man. Round with drapery on a band then selling, I mind him, he was on the door on that. Well, that was a great dance for Paddy McCafferty's band and all that. What used to come. But
Right.
our own old dance hall that Selk and them got started was the best dance hall of the whole lot.
Down here?
Aye.
Was Silk involved for that?
Silk was the man and then put up the money to get it built, coming a Roger from a Roger man built that big two-story down along the road there. That was Roger's ground.
That was
My
the-
father said, aye.
Was that where Sarah McCaffrey had the fish, was it? Or?
Aye, she had the fish down in the hall, aye. But there's a big two-story house there that Master Teague had and them all bought. That belonged to a Roger man.
Alright.
He was from Torrey. Now he was mixed up somewhere with Mrs. Ferry too, of the Ferries. My father said he left him away on the train to go to Torrey. That was the end of when he went down or went sunk or went bad or whatever
Mm-hmm.
happened about the whole thing. Aye.
Yeah.
He sold this big house down here then. But it was the best going dance hall there in the county, that down there. Aye. And Cafferty took it over. He was a postman come here. He was staying about a shop boy about Harkins, and then he got married to what he called the McGinley woman, aye. Wee Barney's sister. Then he got a postman's job here, McCafferty. Then he got the band paid out of the dance hall or whatever. He run it then. I was tortured with him with the old engine. You know the old stationary engines, the lighty break down at night, the old belt would break you. She would boil while handling to oil engines.
Aye.
Then light old Christmas lights, fusing. No. There would be a breakdown a lot of nights.
I suppose you were summoned in the middle of the night?
Aye, you were. Oh, and she stopped and went out and I just couldn't get her going quick here in a bad handling. I would always have a spare fucking belt to be sure to be quick to try and get one on her.
Aye, well, that was good thinking.
Aye, I'll think you. Then the one that was boiling, she was a cunt. I had a water tap on the barrel. I could run it like fucking dump cold water in her. Run so much after, you see, the boiling stuff. To get her cooled quicker.
Yeah.
Then look, the buckets are now well outside beside it.
Aye.
Oh, I had these tortures with the dancers.
Aye.
Hey, Didn't run all smooth.
No,
Aye.
no.
Then the fighting on him, that was outside, eh?
Aye, well, that happens.
Aye. They had a lot of fighting men to come from Gador and the battle would start outside, eh?
Outside the dance hall, yeah.
Aye. Aye, them. You'd get in free if you had a car and so money on one time. There was a taxi badge or something.
Alright.
Some boy come to me carpet, he was on the doing himself. I have a car here. All they were out there, I have no room on here for all. Boy was trying to get another ticket.
Yeah.
Aye. My carpet, he put in his time now, I'll tell you.
Oh, he didn't come down in the last shower.
Oh, and Freels, I done a lot of hard work for Freels. Serviced all, when the water track was going here, you mind that from over there to Kildare to here. All his machinery and all, that's before he got the Ford agency. Aye,
Right.
Freels, aye, what that was a good send off for him too, like. He was paying us mechanics and they had no agents, you see. They had me and Thompson, who was it, and Johnny Shields and Jarrett, that was all they had that time, aye. Oh good, I was.
He was popular for the Fords, of course, wasn't he?
The Ford, he had a Morris agency for wee vans and stuff, lorries, but the Ford agency made him once, they had the Ford agency. He was away then.
He came from all over the county.
Aye. Oh, away at the garage all in the new from him, changed the door for the ESB and away at his new house and all. I used to do a lot of the wiring at houses too, my spare time and all that to make a shilling. Aye. Got an old big stationary engine right in the garage, you know. That's what we were driving at that time.
Alright, yeah.
Then when the ESB come, I had to be changed over. I put on them fluorescent lights all, you know that. Mine changed, aye. Well, the ESB was a godsend 1956, aye. The only place I got no money out of was the barracks. One light and one plug. Sergeant Ryan said that's all was allowed and that's he got me to put on that.
Right.
Me and him had a drink there. There's not much profit in that one. That's how barracks are in the middle of the town. One light in the big day room and a plug. I would not put one in the black hole for them. Aye. That's all allowed for the barrack. Was that funny, wasn't it? Suppose that place only taken, that's all.
Oh, maybe.
Eh?
Maybe.
Aye, that's what it would be. I don't know who owns the barracks now or how Danley was sworn in or how it went, that barracks. I mean, there's nobody in it now and it's lying there. It's more a pity. That was a hotel, Sharky's one time, Sharky's Hotel.
Is that beside Roses or?
Aye, beside Roses, that was the barracks.
Maybe it's part of Roses now, is it? Is it part of Roses?
No, they never bought it, no, never.
Right.
Oh, here's a great building. You could stand up on the roof or outside and look away down over your place, away down over the sea. Aye, great spot. I wonder Rorty didn't buy it. I mean, they would need it later on to that place of his now. Aye. It's no good to any other man. It would suit him, aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
You could even use it for parking or something.
Aye.
You could
They
use
could
it
do it for parking, cover it for parking, aye.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus, aye. The town's away bad. Back just, I've seen things as wild back from the cope. From the railway went off, and the cope started to go. A vine went, a vine seemed to go. Then the motoring cars coming in, all the blacksmiths started to go. Oh, the garage was coming in. That was such a free was a big boost too. While he was going, a good boost to the town. People coming and eating and getting service cars, and all that. Aye.
Not to hang about.
Aye. Aye, but once that all went too, you see.
Aye.
Funny how things can go back. The factory went down, that was pay packets. The forestry. I seen me without pumps out there 10 shillings a gallon, all them factory boys putting under 10 shillings in a pound was what they could afford. I mean, they were getting the money in the factory, it was handy like, you know. But once the pay packets start to go, that was that too. The place had a loss. Shops had a loss, everything had a loss once that went. Aye. Well, the things can happen very quickly.
Yeah.
You don't like things happening.
No.
Oh,
Compared to Dunfanaghy, which is...
Oh, Port na Black was clean wiped out too, sure.
Was it did
David McElhaney's garage and Charlie Montgomery's hotel, made Charlie going well. John Mullen, the shop, that's all gone. What have you got now? Only the lake house is the old people's home, just that.
The cove, I suppose.
The tumult, the coves are going kind of way. Then the hotel finished it. If that hotel should have been kept, you know, wasn't on that bad a ship.
Yeah.
That was a wild handling, that too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, they do some wild mistakes, these things, isn't it?
Aye, well.
The mistakes you learn too.
That's the way. John, thanks very much for talking to us today and telling us about your life and reminiscing. So thanks very much, John.
Aye, so thank you very much as well for the great entertainment.
All right.
I hope it comes out good.
I'm sure it will, John.
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye.
We'll get you a copy.
Aye. Now that'll be good.